So Gudeli, if he's on form, he could be world champion at the end of today, Michaela.
Well, if we look at what happened in the snatch, Gudeli upped his starting weight, only by a kilo, but nonetheless he upped it. China, as suspected, brought theirs down. So if that happens in the clean and jerk, these two boys could be starting on very similar weights.
So this is Khachatryan has brought his weight down from 180 to 175. So things not feeling so good for him, the 32-year-old.
Not the tidiest of lifts that we've seen. A few errors, few weaknesses, but it's a good lift. See what happens in the replay now as he comes off the floor, drives out of the clean position, knees come in, that's going to put strain on the medial part of the knee, adjusts his hands to make the jerk easier. We see here a power jerk rather than a split jerk. Power jerk, you've got to drive the bar so much higher.
And for viewers who haven't seen too much weightlifting, and I've only seen split jerks so far, because that's all we've seen, and it is the most common way to put it overhead in a clean and jerk. 1 foot forward, 1 foot backwards. Why would you teach a lifter, or why would a lifter choose to do this?
Well, none of my lifters have ever done a power jerk in competition. We do it as an exercise to focus on making sure we dip and drive in a straight position rather than dropping your chest. It's just a bit of variety for training, but here at a big competition, you sometimes see the Chinese athletes doing it, but they drive, but they don't catch it as high as we're seeing here. They will catch it in a squat position.
Sure, it's a squat jerk.
So if you look at biomechanically, actually, you could probably lift more doing a squat jerk, but you have to have tremendous strength and stability in the shoulders.
Flexibility,
and the legs. Once a lifter has stood up with a heavy clean, I mean, for me, there's no way I could go back down into that squat position and stand up again, which is what you have to do on a squat jerk.
Yeah.
Therefore, you see everybody doing
the splits. Yeah, I mean, it's just a much more stable way, isn't it? Your feet can be slightly wide apart. You can overcome problems quite quickly. You don't have to go as deep. And with a squat jerk, you're basically going into a snatch position, but often your arms just aren't as wide. So you can imagine how difficult it is to balance. But for this, just a power jerk.
He's obviously got some other issues going on, other reasons why he can't do the split.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, maybe something to do with a groin or a back. I mean, at 32, of course, he's
quite possibly
been around. He's had his injuries very publicly on the 2010 stage, so that must be the reason.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm fairly sure if we see him miss a jerk, fingers crossed we don't. If we see him miss it, it's probably going to be because he just dips forward, which may be the reason why he's not doing a split jerk. There's no room for error with this technique.
Going for 180, following himself here. This was his original posted weight. Oh, and he does go right down into, almost into a squat. Now then, he walks away looking really unhappy, but he gets 3 white lights. I didn't see anything wrong with that. He's just unhappy with himself.
Well, that's the weight he originally posted at the weigh-in to start on, so maybe he's frustrated with whatever's gone on in the warm-up. Good recovery. Just not liking the strain that his knees are under.
Kirill Pavlov, 181. This will take him up to the #1 ranking. He'll have a total of 338. He'll go ahead of anyone from the B group in terms of total.
Oh, wow, super strong. You see again, driving the bar off his shoulders as he stands out of the clean to adjust his hands that bit wider. It makes the jerk easier. Why?
Yes, and for the time being, the Kazakh on his own platform is leading the World Championships. 338 kilos is his total. He's ahead of all the B group, the C group, and the D group lifters.
Just watch now his back foot. His back foot is pointing out to the left. To his left, that is. Heel down. That's going to put strain on the knee as well. I'd like to see that foot pointing forwards to allow the back knee to bend.
Inflexible Achilles?
I wouldn't have thought so. It's probably going to put more strain on the Achilles doing that because his leg is straight. But hey, he's a strong young man. I'm sure we're going to see more from him on this platform today.
Coming out now, it's our Thai competitor, Chattafum Chinnawong, going for 184. Fourth at the Olympic Games in London. Was well down in the snatch. Finished 10th there, 152. And something's not right. He just isn't himself. Misses his opener at 184.
Good extension. Stands up very strong. Just tried pushing that bar at the end. Resulted in himself pushing himself away from it. Strong enough. Needs to really use his legs, not his arms, as he comes out for his second attempt.
Well, it is Pippa of Moldova, who currently leads the standings in the clean and jerk from the B group. Rosu of Romania, 186 also, but by virtue of being heavier in body weight, he is in second. But we have most of the A groups still to join in. Expected starting weights, well, a lot of them are coming in around 185, 187, and then Kim of North Korea, 190, Gadeli 192, the winner of the snatch, and still Zhong Yushon of China is posting a 200 opener.
See some deportment going on from the coaches. Massage technique, just trying to stimulate the athlete. Needs to really start firing now, get that adrenaline going. Needs to really attack this weight.
Oh, and he does just seem to lack a bit of zip and aggression.
Yeah, technically not too bad, just letting that bar drift out in front, or he's pushing himself away from it. You can just see how much he's sweating there. Really, I'd like to see the coaches give him a wipe down, because you don't want that bar sliding off your shoulders. There's no knurling on the middle of the bar.
You know, the World Championships in Paris 2011, when he was just coming through the junior ranks, he clean and jerked 185, just missed 189. 2012 Olympics, when he really arrived, hit 191 in his opener, and then just missed 195 twice. I mean, it's just like a massive step backwards for him.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on his face. No lifter comes here to miss the first two attempts. But under this kind of pressure, you can find yourself in that position quite easily with a small lapse of concentration. We need to see him now fully committing to getting his body underneath the bar. You cannot back away from it. You have nothing to support the weight otherwise.
Just amazing, though, isn't it, to think at 21 years old, the Thai athlete is going backwards by quite some margin from when he was 19. It's weightlifting. I mean, is it fair to say that some of these guys and girls, they almost burn out from training just too hard in their teens?
Well, you often find athletes will progress at a rapid rate as they go through puberty and maturation. So at that point, when the testosterone is running around the body, you need to capitalise on it. So particularly with youngsters as they come into their late 20s, you know, when that happens, you really got to push them hard. And quite often you find an athlete will plateau, which could well have been what's happened here. The key then is how do you keep progressing? And for me, I found making changes to my routine is the one way of doing that. But that's him out of the competition.
Yes. I mean, he isn't pointing or giving us any excuse here. He's just a shake of the head there. He's a young man who just isn't in the right headspace right now. And he bombs, I'm afraid, in the clean and jerk. 3 failures at 184. So, Cho Yon Wee coming for 185 for his opener. one of 2 North Koreans in this contest. He is very much the junior in the pairing. Finished 7th in the snatch. Kim finished 3rd.
Oh, needs to keep pushing. Not a great lockout with the arms, but no movement in the elbows, so I think he'll be okay. I think he'll agree, not the tidiest of lifts.
Well, the 3 white lights, that's the important bit. And, well, with those quads, he's never going to have a problem standing up, is he? I'd be fascinated to see how much he could squat.
Most weightlifters would do anything for a set of thighs like that. When you've got the muscles overhanging the knee, then you know you've got a good set of quads.
Yeah, I mean, when people don't have massive quads like that, you often see their knees buckling in. We saw that with the Armenian lifter really badly. Not there, quite the opposite. His knees went out as he stood up. Now the Egyptian, Maged Mohammed, 150 in the clean and jerk, the worst of Group A, and coming in here at 185. So a much better clean and jerker.
Oof, buried him at the bottom. Good leg strength to stand. Needs to stand still. The referees won't give him that. Was never stationary. He didn't get the down signal. That's gutting, because that's going to have taken an awful lot of energy out of him. The rules specify that after you've done your jerk, you need to bring your feet back in line, toes need to be level, and you have to be standing under control. He was never in that state.
And that was not an easy squat in terms of the time it took. He had to take it to a dead stop there and then drive out. So he's really, really worked hard for that.
They called him for a second attempt. He's only going to have 2 minutes from when the bar was reloaded, and these loaders are on and off the platform lightning quick at the moment. They don't give you any extra time. You just see the foot positioning. There's the problem he's had. You should have seen those feet moving a lot wider, a lot further forwards, further back. You'd have had a much more stable receiving position. Never stationary.
And just as you said, you know, get your glutes into play, get yourself, your hips through, get upright. And he is having to follow himself here as no one else is coming in at this weight. He's not going up. Has he recovered? Better squat.
Well, that's a great recovery. Less than 2 minutes. That's hard. You asked the question, will he have recovered? No is the answer. There's no way his body can physically recover. His immune system, sorry, his nervous system can't recover in that time, but he's done well to refocus and come out and give it everything. Great lifting. Use the bounce to stand straight up. Much better on the jerk. He was underneath the bar this time. Didn't have to run forwards.
Yeah, that was the key. Catching the bounce and the squat and then firing straight back up from that reflex you get. Saves you a lot of energy. Now the Armenian, Chatrian, going for 185. And this will make it 3 out of 3 for him in the clean and jerk.
Stop it! We're going to see a full squat jerk.
Didn't waste any time, did he, when it was on his shoulders? Probably could have settled a little bit longer there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't encourage people out there to go and attempt this as your lift for a maximum weight. It's nowhere near as efficient as the split. He's got his own reasons for needing to do it this way. Oh, buried him as he tried to change direction on that drive. Bar still wanted to come down. That's a sign that the athlete's trying to push with their arms way too early. Watch the bar kill the momentum as he dips and drives for the jerk. There's no drive.
Yeah, didn't quite time that right. It's great to see, though, when you see a good squat jerk. Because Abdiokadov is the one I'm thinking of in particular.
I think it can be done. If an athlete can do it, it could be superb.
So it's the Egyptian lifter who's being called out now for his opener. The older of the Egyptian lifters, it's Abdel Baki coming out at 188. And he was expected to come out at 187, so things going reasonably well in the warm-up area. Only a 153 in the snatch. A little disappointing for him there. That left him in 9th.
Nice. Had to work hard throughout, but it was a good lift. He's a tall guy as well. It's a long way for that bar to travel.
And 188, that's the first time we have surpassed the B group lifters.
Yeah,
the best of the B group lifters being 186 previously, so he's now in the lead of the clean and jerk.
Good extension, good speed under the bar. Uses the bounce at the bottom to stand. Nice straight dip and drive, easily to arm's length.
That's a Yonak of Belarus, 189, so a kilogram up. His first lift. 4 men still to come into this clean and jerk after him.
Was that bar ever stationary?
He just kept the whole thing kind of moving, didn't he? It's are you in danger of getting called for oscillation there?
Well, it happened yesterday. We had a lifter overruled for oscillation. I wouldn't say there was oscillation there. Oscillation, by definition, is where the bar keeps whipping on your shoulders, so you keep it moving. But here, adjusts straight into the dip and drive. So yeah, technically that's oscillation. He used the momentum on the bar. He was stationary, but the bar wasn't. So technically, it's not allowed.
Cho Yon Wee, 189. So he's 4 kilos up in his first. Take him to a 344. Move him up into second overall.
Oh, the pressure on those arm joints. And he can feel it. Look at the grimace afterwards. He knows that was painful. But again, we see another lifter standing out of the clean, using the momentum to go straight into the lift. I wouldn't fail it, because, you know, to me, that's not deliberate oscillation. That is literally the movement of the bar. Hold it for a split second longer and you stop that whip. He just didn't hold it, so he's got away with it.
Yeah, look at his elbows just slowly extending open those joints. It, yeah, makes you grimace watching it. The elbow joint is it's a ball and socket joint, sort of. It's not really.
It's not supposed to be.
It's held together by by a lot of ligaments there, which yes, let's not talk anymore about.
I think that hinge joint could well snap if we're not careful.
So Kim Kwang Song. 90 kilos.
Oh, dead weight at the bottom. Surely he can't.
Oh my goodness, that was impressive.
Well, that is going to take a lot out of him. Stand still. It's a sigh of relief. He's going to be asking himself, why waste so much energy? He had to fight so hard not to topple forwards or backwards in the bottom position. Just watch this. Hit him hard. It's pulling him forwards, corrected it, Managed to get a bounce out. Again, wastes no time on the jerk. Good recovery.
Kirill Pavlov, 190. Look at the jump, 181 to 190, 9 kilos up. And I think that's the biggest jump we've seen so far in the World Championships. Here we go. Hit it hard with his hips in the midsection.
Yes, he did. The jerk was very, very solid. The rules specify as the bar passes the knees, it must be one continuous movement up. The bar is not allowed to stop at the thigh. He took all momentum and all speed off the bar by yanking it with his upper body. But very, very strong to still execute the lift. Oh, I think that bar stopped. He's got away with it. The referees will be looking closer on his final attempt. I'm sure of that.
Maged Mohammed, 190 for his final lift. 185 looked pretty tough.
He's on his toes. Not much to say about that, really. Just dropped his chest, pulled him onto his toes. Virtually impossible to recover from that position once you've gone over your base of support.
Keramaj, 191, the European champion, to come out and start his campaign in the clean and jerk. But he's not the #1 Albanian today. Daniel Gudeli leads after the snatch. Keramaj carries forward 158. Gudeli did a shocking 171.
Shocking or shockingly good?
Magnificent, yes. Now Keramaj.
Oh, what's forward? He's got a bend on the right elbow. He doesn't have a great elbow lock, so had he been able to hold it, would have probably got away with it, but it was definitely a bent arm.
Well, that was, again, quite an effort, and if he has to come out again soon, he's going to feel pretty fatigued after this. And he's a man who peaked for the European Championships. Gudeli, my goodness, has he peaked well for this World Championships.
Lacking a bit of drive, needs another inch overhead. He can do that. Let's hope he can recover quick enough. Zhong in picture there, just preparing. He's down to come in at 200. My guess is he'll bring that down slightly when he sees what the other athletes have opened on.
So Pavlov leads 190, also on 190 Kim Kwang Song, but by virtue of body weight he's down. The other North Korean in third on 189, but all of those top men and the top 6 there still have attempts to go. And in terms of men still to join the party, Daniel Gudeli and Zhong Gushon still have all 3 lifts, and they're the leading 2.
160.
After the snatch.
160 we see in picture here. The athlete's just gone back for another warm-up attempt, probably because there's too long a break between his first and second. Just keeping the body ticking over, the muscles firing.
Well, it's going to be Keramaj in the end who's going to follow himself. He's upped it to 192, and I think he thought he might buy himself a bit of time there with some other lifters coming in, but they've all decided to go up. Gudeli has gone up to 195. Oof. Wow. This is Keramaj's second.
Whoa, that looks like a final attempt, not an opening weight. Oh, he's under pressure now.
Not even close. And that just had no confidence written all over it.
Well, as we go back to it, partly down to fitness now. Can the athlete recover in time? Following himself 2 minutes 2 minutes is not enough time, we know that. Your body cannot physically recover fully in that time. But he has to go back, keep the blood flowing through those legs, keep the legs straight. Try and get the oxygen in. It's going to be another... No, Godelli's gone up. He is going to be the next lifter out. Oh, gutted, absolutely gutted for him. What's happened is I think it's his teammate, they've called another lifter. Another lifter wanted 192. That lifter has then chosen to go up. The bar has gone straight back
to Karamaj.
Yes, and because there's been a change of lifter in between,
he doesn't get 2 minutes.
He only gets one.
That is harsh, isn't it?
This is the worst, in my view, personal opinion. This for me is the worst rule in weightlifting. Everything else that's been changed rule-wise has been superb for TV, for the lifters. This rule, without doubt, absolutely stitches the lifters up. There's no physical way they can recover. Well, and as we see now, by the looks of it, Karamaj has had to put his starting weight up to give him a chance to recover.
He's had to go up. He's had to go up by another kilogram, which you could say it's only about 0.5%, but when you've already failed the first two, confidence is rock bottom. So, Cho Yeon-wee going for 193, 4 kilos up. This would be 3 out of 3 for him, and a personal best as well.
He's obviously in some kind of discomfort there. Is it wrists? I'm not sure.
He could squat the building, couldn't he? But for some reason, he hasn't quite converted that leg power into the jerk.
He's obviously struggling with some kind of injury. The way he was holding himself, I don't know whether it's shoulder or wrist. The wrists are under an awful lot of strain.
So the Kazakh lifter back out again. Kirill Pavlov going for 193, and Karamaj, he too will be going for 193. But who will go first here? They both are going on third lifts. Well, they've called out Karamaj. Presumably Pavlov has gone up from 193, as he's earlier in the start order.
And then he has he's gone one. He must have gone up. This is 3 kilos below Karamaj's best ever on the international stage, so he's now under serious pressure, having missed his first two. So hope he can dig deep here. Oh.
Well, it got worse and worse, didn't it? A decent attempt the first time. Barely did a jerk the second time, and this time he can't even clean it, and that's a real shame for Erkan Karamaj. He's 26, and you have to feel for him a little bit. You can't really criticize too much there, because of the way a weightlifting contest works. He was forced to go heavier despite confidence plummeting and energy levels sapping, and here comes his compatriot who did 3 out of 3, 163, 167, 171 for the gold medal in the snatch. And he didn't even win the European Championships this year. Daniel Godelli. Now, let's put the ghost to rest from London. If he gets this opener, then he can forget bombing out in London. And this will become a great day for him. Very likely to be on the overall podium.
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. He's got a shocking elbow lock, but I didn't see movement in that. I think he'll be fine.
You see, even his coach was holding his right arm straight there. Everyone's worried about that right arm, which just doesn't lock well. That's what he was done for at the Olympics. Watch it again here. Clean, no problem. He barely needs to go to the full depth to lift that up. But his lockouts... Oh.
It's just a terrible elbow lock, but he's so strong. He has to be strong in the upper body. He has to be strong in the triceps to keep pushing, because there's only one way that bar's going, and that's down if he's not pushing.
Yeah, it's just so complex, your elbow, isn't it? That once things start to go wrong, you can get little chunks of it just not quite working properly. And if you can't fully extend your elbow, it's hard to hold 200 kilos, or best part of over your head. As out comes our next lifter, which will be Petr Yonak, going for 195, 6 kilos up for him. And this will take him from 3rd to 2nd overall.
I see Yonak trying so hard to get himself in contention for a medal on the clean and jerk. I'm not sure he's got it in him to take an overall medal today, but with one lift remaining, he could still give himself a chance on the clean and jerk.
So a wry smile there from Kim Kwang-song, who hit 190 in his opener. 195 now. Doesn't hang around.
No, there's a lot of guys in this group that are not hanging around. They're standing with a clean straight into the jerk. There's a momentary pause of the body, but not even long enough to allow the bar to rest.
That actually doesn't change his position in the overall at all. He was 13 kilos behind Gdelli, and he's now just 8 kilos behind. But remember, we're still waiting for Zhong Yushon of China to join in. And Yushon did lift the same weight as Gdelli in the snatch, but he's the heavier man. This is the Kazakh, Kirill Pavlov, going for 195. It'll take him up to 3rd in the overall if he gets it.
I wouldn't have given this lift already. I'd have failed it already.
He likes it, and they're under a lot of pressure here, the referees. 3 white lights.
He would have been given it, because if they failed it already, he'd have been given the down signal. He's got that lift. That is some superb lifting, but he's got a big problem through the middle part of the lift.
Just explain what you don't like about it.
We need to see the replay here. The bar stops as it gets to mid-thigh. There's a stop, a definite stop, where that bar ceases to continue moving upwards. That is not allowed. The bar has to continue all the way up in one continuous movement. Jerk solid, no problems whatsoever. But if I were refereeing that, I would have failed it after the clean.
I mean, it's one of those things where does it actually stop? I mean, it's so hard to tell unless you really want to take it frame by frame, you know?
Well, you could see that there on the slow-mo. I could see that on the slow-mo.
Well, I mean, you know...
And the referees see it in lifetime speed. Are you going to fail a Kazakh lifter on a home stage at a World Championships? That's probably more the question, but I have seen lifters failed for that in the past.
Petr Asonyak for 195 again.
You can hear the cheers. That's because...
Yes, he remains in
Pavlov
4th
stays.
overall, and by failing that, and their man, who just had that lift, which you didn't particularly like, but it was a good lift, is still up in the top 3. But we are waiting for Zhong Yushon of China to join in. What's he going to come in at? He posted 200.
It's going to be close.
Here he is, striding onto the platform, 196. No surprise, he's come down. In terms of world records, where are we at? Junior world record 202. Senior world record 210 at this body weight.
He's made a sensible call, or his coaches have made a sensible call. 196, that's 1 kilo up from Daniel Gdelli. That makes up the deficit in body weight. Remember, they were both equal after the snatch, but he was the heavier man, so he needs to beat Daniel Gdelli by 1 kilo to have a chance of gold. Oh,
Wow.
wasted.
Well. That's a surprise indeed. Just bounced out in the bottom position, kicked forward.
He'd like to be on the receiving end of his coach right now.
Well, he was flat-footed there and then just rolled onto his toes. Abdelbaki going for 196. This is a big jump for the Egyptian. And we said earlier his snatch wasn't great, and I'm afraid 153 was pretty poor to carry forward. So he's really betting the house on his clean and jerk here.
8 kilo increase.
His personal best, 195. Well, the way that just fell down off his chest, he didn't really commit to it fully there.
This is desperate measures to try and stay in with a chance of a medal on the clean and jerk. Good extension, but
I think it was always sitting out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm not sure he really wanted to get under that, but now he's had a play at it. He might come out and give it a good effort on his third. He didn't burn too much energy there. The Chinese lifter Zhong Yushon, who also failed 196, and well, how often do you see a Chinese lifter bombing? He's still got 2 attempts, of course. It certainly would be a shock and a half. So he's a man under some pressure here. The Chinese, I think they'd have been expecting the gold, probably in both disciplines and the total from this weight category.
I think he's okay. His left elbow was soft. He's looking at the scoreboard tentatively. He's got it.
Yes, he has, and we haven't seen him on a big international stage since 2006 at the Junior World Championships. And I think if he'd have failed that one and failed the last one, we may never have seen him again at a big contest, especially with Liu, the Olympic and world champion, still floating around from China. And he'll feel very relieved after that. Abdelbaki, again, going for a personal best here. A weak second attempt at it. This is his last go.
Just collapsed there. Hope he's okay. He's going to be sore in the hip and knee tomorrow, I would have thought.
Well, at 26, he's had a few good runs at the World Championships and Olympics, and you might as well go for it. I mean, he did actually catch that on his shoulders there, and I mean, he caught it with a slightly bent back.
Can't collapse under these kind of weights. You have to sit strong.
There's the opposite end of the confidence spectrum. Daniel Gadelli.
Very
on
sensible.
Fire, yeah.
Sensible increase here.
Only 3 kilos. He's in second place overall. This will take him ahead of Zhong into first. That lockout on the right arm.
It's okay.
Should be okay.
Having to work hard, but you can see just as soon as he stood with that clean, straight into the jerks, conserving as much energy as possible. This now puts the pressure back on Zhong of China, who needs a 199. Zhong has posted 200. Wouldn't surprise me if he brings that down to 199.
Yes, I mean, that's a good lift. It's actually better than his first one in terms of the elbow lock wobbling a little bit. He's always going to wobble a little bit because he can't go fully straight. And, well, congratulations. His personal best before this, 192. So he's gone from 157 to 171 in snatch, 14 kilos there, and 192 to 198 in the clean and jerk.
Not a bad day at the office.
Just outrageous.
Okay.
Outrageous.
What's happening now is the bar would have automatically gone up by 1 kilo. Daniel Gadelli won't take that, but he's allowing the clock to run closer to 30 seconds before they change it.
Well, in some ways, seeing the clean and jerk standings isn't actually the most important thing here, because that's the small medal, as it were. It's all about becoming world champion overall. 3 men have 1 attempt left. Kim, Zhong and Gadelli all have 1 go. And, well, Kim is the first of them to come out. He sits on a total of 358. So this will take him up to 363, which will not affect the other 2. So he's very much just looking for a potential clean and jerk gold here, and hope the other 2 fail it. And then the other 2 will have to decide what they go for, as they're so close in terms of the overall world title.
Oh, buried him at the bottom. Great leg strength. Superb overhead. He's catapulted himself up into gold medal position on the clean and jerk. 2 attempts remaining from 2 different athletes. He's got a medal. Question is, what colour?
I mean, yes, he has just gone into the gold medal position now. 440 pounds, he's just clean and jerk there. 200 kilograms, clean sweep of clean and jerks for him. That's great lifting. Still 3rd in the overall. He has to sit back and wait. He's guaranteed the bronze in terms of the overall. And this gold in the clean and jerk may yet get bumped down to bronze as well, as the other 2 men, they have this chance to reply. If Gadelli goes for 200, well, he's the lighter man, and if he gets it, he'll go into the lead. Zhong has gone up to 201 already. That's what we expected. He has to go a kilo heavier than Gadelli. But hang on, Gadelli, he's not come out at 200, so Zhong comes out at 201. Gadelli must be going for 202. Crikey.
Well, it's great tactics by the coach. Usually done on the running order of the board, which Gadelli would be first. However, they've chosen the same weight, so what they look for then is the difference between 2nd and 3rd attempts. Zhong has a greater gap between 2nd and 3rd attempts, therefore he's been forced out. As soon as he's come out, Gadelli knows exactly what weight he needs. Can he do it?
This will take him into 1st in the clean and jerk, 1st in the overall. That was hard. Oh, no. Too hard in the squat, so we know now that he will settle for silver in the overall, no matter what. And there's only 1 lift left, and that comes from Daniel Gadelli, who, as Michaela explained there, it's because of a number of technicalities, will be able to do the same weight, 201, despite being higher up in the order. And hopefully, if he nails it, he'll go from 2nd in the clean and jerk up to 1st. He's already won the total. We can say Daniel Gadelli is the world champion, and he'll know that. It won't be lost on him. So this is to take a clean sweep of the golds. And let's not forget, Albania has never had a gold at a World Weightlifting Championships before. Closest they've got to it, silver in a snatch in the men's 85. That was Sully in 2002. And quite rightly, his coach just calming him down.
Coach in his face. God, dear me, coach way in his face.
He just wants to run out there and lift it himself. He's living this.
Give him some space. Let him focus on what he's got to do. Yes, he's world champion, but he's still got 1 more gold medal to win. He knows what he's got to do. Leave him to focus. Oh. What are we seeing here?
I'm sorry, what was that graphic? 211? No, it's got to be 201. New world record attempt. Are you kidding me? If it is, well, we thought he was coming for 2:01. The scoreboard says 2:11. The world record. Hold the bus here. This is outrageous.
Yeah, 2:10 is the world record.
It's 2:10. This is a massive jump.
Wow.
I can't believe
my
it.
word, he stood with it.
Oh! Someone give him another shot. That was outrageous. I can't believe it. He came out for 2:11.
He's just thrown the gold medal on the clean and jerk away for an attempt at a world record, but fair play to him. Nobody would have put money on him cleaning it. Tremendous effort.
You and I looked at each other going, I can't believe they've made a graphic error. And they put 2:11 instead of 2:01 there as he ran out onto the stage. But no, he really was going for a world record there. And sorry it took us so long to quite grasp that, but that is unbelievable. Daniel Gideli, he has made this weightlifting competition very memorable. A gold in the snatch, silver in the clean and jerk you'll have to settle for, but what an effort. Going for that world record, which is held by, out of interest, Perpechinov of Russia. And that was set all the way back in 2001. So, clean and jerk. The gold goes to Kim Kwang Song. Daniel Gideli gets second, and Zhong has to settle for third. But what an effort. 2:11 on his third attempt. Daniel Gideli setting the world alight. Well, the Kazakh there, it's worth noting, Pavlov came fourth. And down the bottom there, the tie after he didn't even register a lift. What a shame that is. Just remind us, what's Gideli's personal best in the clean and jerk?
192.
192, going for 2:11. Outrageous, just incredible. 369 is the total he does in the end. And actually, just doing the maths quickly, I think he'd have taken the world record total as well if he'd have done it there. Bushong gets the silver, and Song of Korea the bronze overall. Well, they're the medals they're going to be receiving in a few moments, and this is how the medal table lies. We have the Democratic People's Republic of Korea equal with China on golds, but silvers, China are ahead. Albania now on 2, equal with Kazakhstan in third. Thailand, Vietnam, others with 1 gold, and down the bottom there, it's good to see Colombia, 2 bronze. Well, tomorrow we have at 11 a.m. Central European Time, women's sub-63 kilo category. 2 categories for you tomorrow, as the men's comes up later on, an hour after that women's contest finishes. So lots of weightlifting action to look forward to. Remember, that is Central European Time, an hour earlier if you're on UK time. Well, take your hat off. We're going to take our headset off to this man, Daniel Gideli, the star in the 77s.